In just a matter of a few hours, Pakistan will be going to polls. The election campaigning saw everything from the arrest of some of its most prominent leaders to violence and terror attacks that claimed more than 180 lives. This was one of Pakistan's most politically charged campaigns. Headlines have called it the dirtiest election in that country. The campaigning ended yesterday. The polling begins tomorrow morning. So let's give a crash course to you on this election in numbers. The population of Pakistan is 207 million. Of these, roughly half, that's 105 million people, have been registered to vote. It's the sixth most populous nation in the world. It ranks second when it comes to the population of Muslims. A whopping 96% of the Pakistani population is Muslim. Around 3.63 million non-Muslims live there, primarily Hindus. They elect a National Assembly with a strength of 342 members. More than 12,000 candidates are in the fray this time. So of the 342 seats in the National Assembly, 272 seats are filled by direct elections, the ones that are taking place tomorrow. 60 seats are reserved for women. These seats are allocated to parties defending their strength in the House. A formula of 272 divided by 60 is used to allocate these seats, meaning for every 4.5 seats that a party wins, it will get 1 seat for a woman candidate. The 10 remaining seats in the National Assembly are reserved for minorities, for which again, no direct elections take place. To emerge victorious, a party needs to win 172 seats in Pakistan. In the 2013 election, the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, PMLN, won 178 seats, a comfortable majority. They formed the government. The Pakistan People's Party was the biggest opposition party. It got 46 seats. The Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf of Imran Khan won just 33 seats. The security apparatus across the nation is on standby. More than 370,000 security personnel, that's more than 370,000 people, have been stationed across the country. This deployment comes amid fears by observers that the army is basically using this presence to influence the election result. And if that is not all, officers are ready with all sorts of contingency measures. Listen in.
खुदा ना खास्ता अगर कोई बड़ा डिजास्टर होता है, खुदा ना खास्ता, तो हमने इस हद तक प्लानिंग की है कि हमने 1000 जो ये हैं आपके कफन वो भी हमने तैयार किए हैं.
1,000 coffins. That's some confidence-building statement. Let's look at what the pundits in Pakistan are saying about this election. According to the latest surveys, it is safe to say that this is a neck-and-neck race between Imran Khan-led PTI and Nawaz Sharif's PMLN. A survey by the Pulse consultants in Pakistan predicts a win for cricketer-turned-politician Imran Khan. They say this party is ahead with 30% of the seat share, whereas PMLN, the incumbent, is at 27%. That's how many seats they will get. The Herald magazine survey indicates that the PTI, again Imran Khan's party, is ahead with 29% of the seat share. The PMLN is expected to get 25%. Another survey indicates a twist, though. This is by research lab Gallup Pakistan. It predicts a lead for a coalition of other political parties, as they put it. They're expected to win 33% of the seats, according to Gallup. The survey predicts 26% seats for Nawaz Sharif's party and 25% for Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari and his party, the Pakistan People's Party, is at the bottom, according to them, with 16%. Now, the region-wise breakup of this survey is very interesting and worth dwelling on. The most populous province of Punjab, which houses almost half of Pakistan's population, shows a lead for the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, that's PMLN, followed by the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. It is said that you have to win Punjab to win Pakistan. So if most surveys show Imran Khan is ahead, how does the math work? The province has been a stronghold of the Sharif family, and if the Gallup survey is to be believed, it continues to be so. The second most populous province of Balochistan is predicted to see a spike in the favor of the JUI. They are expected to get a lead of 23% votes. This will be followed by 20% seats for the Pakistan People's Party, the PPP. The Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf of Imran Khan is expected to retain its stronghold of the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. The Gallup survey predicts a 57% seat share for the Imran Khan-led party in this province. The Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, PMLN, is a distant second there with 9% of the votes. These are just opinion polls. Of course, the voting happens tomorrow and the results will be out by late tomorrow night or on Thursday morning. The campaigning ended last night. It saw more than its fair share of drama. Our next report recaps the highlights of Pakistan's fiercest electoral battle.
असल काम है कौम बनाना, कौम बनाना, लोगों को एक कौम बना के एक ऊपर उठाना, ये है काम। 25 तारीख को फैसला हो रहा है पाकिस्तान का, और इसी पाकिस्तान को हमने एक अजीम कौम बनाना है, और कौम बनेगी जब हम सारे सूबे के लोग, सबका एक नजरिया होगा, जब हम लोगों को इंसाफ देंगे, जब चाहे हिंदू हो, चाहे क्रिश्चियन हो, चाहे सिख हो, चाहे गरीब हो, चाहे मुख्तलिफ सूबे से हो, चाहे वो काफिरिस्तान से हो। जो इंटरनेशनल मीडिया इंटरनेशनल एस्टेब्लिशमेंट के इशारे पे चलता है, हिंदुस्तान का मीडिया और यहां की वो जमातें जो रिगिंग के एक्सपर्ट्स रही हैं, शुरू हो गए हैं कि जनाब इलेक्शन में फौज रिगिंग करवा रही है। जिनके पास अपनी हिफाजत करने के लिए फौज नहीं थी, उनके हाल देखें। सोमालिया से शुरू हो, जो एक ऊपर से लेके जाए, एक एक मुल्क की तबाही, सीरिया, सारे मुसलमान मुल्क में खून ही खून हो रहा है। हम तो शुक्र करें कि हमारे पास ताकतवर फौज है, नहीं तो आज इस मुल्क के 4 हिस्से हो चुके होते। इंशाल्लाह करप्शन, मेरा ये आपसे वादा है कि मैं आपको काबू करके दिखाऊंगा। मैं आपको ये साबित करूंगा कि यहां भी ऐसी गवर्नमेंट हो सकती है, यहां भी ऐसी गवर्नमेंट हो सकती है। कोई वजीर करप्शन करते हुए डरेगा, क्योंकि हमारी नैब ना प्राइम मिनिस्टर को छोड़ेगी ना वजीरों को छोड़ेगी, जिस तरह मगरब में होता है। इलेक्शन आज से 5 साल पहले मैंने कहा था कि मैं तो 5 साल बर्दाश्त कर लूंगा इनके, क्या मेरी कौम बर्दाश्त कर सकेगी? आप इनके अगले 5 साल नहीं बर्दाश्त कर सकते। लिहाजा अपनी जंग समझना, घर घर निकलना, घर घर निकलना, लोगों को जगाना।
25 जुलाई के बाद जब आप हमें मुंतखब करवाते हो, जब हम अवामी हुकूमत बनाते हैं, तो आप पूरे मुल्क में ये पीपल्स पॉवर्टी प्रोग्राम, पीपल्स पॉवर्टी रिडक्शन प्रोग्राम फैलाएंगे।
Make no mistake, the Pakistan People's Party has always stood for peace in the region, where we've always sought a just peace. We realize that many 21st century challenges recognize no borders. Terrorism and climate change require regional and global solutions. So we must always seek to be in dialogue with our neighbours and global powers.
The black money debate in India is far from over. Days after the president of the country's principal opposition party lashed out at the government, the finance minister of India has put forth some interesting facts, and important too. The government has claimed that Indian deposits in Swiss banks have fallen by 35% in the year 2017, that's last year, basically trashing Congress President Rahul Gandhi's claims. In fact, Finance Minister Piyush Goyal has said that deposits by Indians have fallen by 80% since Prime Minister Narendra Modi took charge. That means an 80% drop in black money deposits in Swiss banks in the last 4 years. This is in stark contrast to some reports that emerged earlier. They said that Indian deposits in Swiss banks had gone up by as much as 50% in the last year. Minister Piyush Goyal cited data from the Bank for International Settlements to back his claim. For those watching outside India, black money is money for which tax is not paid. That's often called black. The government and the opposition often spar on how black money is identified and how is it calculated. Let's listen into what the Indian Finance Minister told Parliament today.
It is frequently assumed that any assets held by Indian residents in Switzerland are undeclared. Bracket में so-called black money. ये उनका हमें जवाब है. उन्होंने ये भी लिखा है, to analyze Indian residents' deposits held in Switzerland, another data source should be used, जो correct data source है. This is the locational banking statistics which the Swiss National Bank collects in collaboration with the Bank for International Settlements.
Earlier this month, Bhutan's Prime Minister Tshering Tobgay was in Delhi for what were described as routine consultations with his Indian counterpart. Some of those consultations may have covered the current visit of 2 high-level Chinese officials to Thimphu. They were Vice Foreign Minister Kong Xuanyu and China's Ambassador to India, Luo Jiahui. The news trickling out of Thimphu is that China has invited Bhutan to join the Belt and Road Initiative, or the BRI. Beijing wants Thimphu to share in what it calls the development dividend. Bhutan, like India, has not joined the BRI. Bhutan says that while the BRI would bring in considerable investment, it would be at the cost of its environment. China watchers in India say that Bhutan's views on the BRI are well known to Beijing. More likely, this visit by the Chinese delegation was to probe Bhutan's mind on settling the Doklam Plateau dispute. The Doklam Plateau borders Bhutan's western border with Tibet. It overlooks the Chumbi Valley in Tibet, which stretches down to Sikkim. China wants Bhutan to hand over this plateau. In return, it is prepared to hand over 495 square kilometers of its own territory to Bhutan in the north. Now, this is a proposal that China has made in the past and Bhutan has always rejected it. This is because Doklam Plateau is not far from the Siliguri corridor, which connects mainland India to the northeastern states. Although the approach to the Siliguri corridor is heavily defended, any Chinese move closer to the corridor makes India insecure. It was the reason for the standoff between China and India last year on the Doklam Plateau. China attempted to lay a road from the Chumbi Valley going up to the Doklam Plateau to the Indian border. This violated an agreement between Bhutan and China to not alter the ground situation until the Doklam Plateau was resolved. So India intervened and stopped the road building. Although the standoff ended after 73 days, China is unlikely to give up its claims to this plateau. The visit by the Chinese delegation would have also been to remind the Bhutanese of another proposal they've been making. That is to establish formal diplomatic relations. Remember, there is no Chinese embassy in Thimphu, even though Bhutan and China have held 24 rounds of talks in either capital about their border dispute. Watch this space for more on that. For people living in India, it's the description of a good summer day, the temperature touching 41 degrees. For Japan, it's unprecedented and disastrous. So much so that the country has declared this heat wave a natural disaster, and with good reason. More than 70 people have been killed, nearly 25,000 are hospitalized.
A week after it was brought down to its knees by flash floods, Japan is now battling the spell of an unending, intense heat wave. Several lives have been lost in what is now being called an unprecedented natural disaster. Authorities have urged citizens to stay indoors. The government also said that it may help schools and universities in setting up air conditioning systems. Less than half of Japan's public schools have air conditioning, and the figure is only slightly higher at public kindergartens. There are also talks of extending summer vacations for these schools.
In eastern and western Japan, high temperature will persist till the beginning of August, and some areas will undergo hot days above 35 degrees Celsius.
In Kumagia city, mercury rose to a record high of 41.1 degrees Celsius, while Ibigawa town's Gifu prefecture is sweltering with temperatures as high as 39.3 degrees Celsius. In capital city Tokyo, temperatures have touched 34 degrees.
Without an air conditioner, I open all the windows and turn on a fan to ventilate my home and sleep with ice packs on my body.
The record-breaking weather conditions have not only revived concerns about the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, but it has also seen Tokyo governors promise to give heatwave the same priority as measures to counter terrorism. Bureau Report, WION.